Hey guys, it's Cortonis, and 2022 was certainly a year for comic book movies, to say the least. And just to give my thoughts on all these to you guys, I'm going to be ranking the 2022 theatrically released Marvel and DC movies from the worst to the best. So let's just get started. If anyone saw my last ranking video, I don't think this is a surprise, but at the very bottom, number 7 is Morbius. I have them listed in like pros to cons, and the only pro I have for Morbius is that the villain's kind of fun. I'm just gonna go through the cons. Bad acting. I don't need to explain this one. Boring story. It's so fucking slow. I don't care about the character dynamics. Hell, I don't care about the character. It's got bad CGI. And as I kind of touched on before, the pacing is fucking horrible. It's either way too slow or way too fast. And by that I mean the entire movie is way too slow, and then there's 20 seconds in between the final battle ending and Morbius flying off. I'm not going to spend too much more time on that. On to my number 6, which is Thor: Love and Thunder. It's a very funny movie. Like, a lot of the jokes do hit, and I do think Chris Hemsworth is an amazing improv actor. All of the ones in this movie are. The costume design for the most part is pretty good. I'll touch on that more later. Gore and Christian Bale are amazing. Every scene they're in, they steal it. They are some of the best parts of this movie. Speaking of which, Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, I think is up there with Gore as like the best part of this movie. Her story is just so interesting, and I almost wish she was the main focus of the movie. And I am excited to see Father Thor. I feel like that'll be a fun dynamic. I think they overuse CGI a bit. It's just almost everything is CG. Marvel just puts everyone in CGI suits or just puts someone in front of a green screen, which I think is their biggest fault as a movie studio. The CGI also isn't great, which has also been a trend for Phase 4 because I think they're just spreading themselves too thin. The weapon love square is super fucking dumb. There's like zero god butchering. Gore does nothing, and there have been rumors that or maybe, I don't even know if they're rumors or confirmed or not, but there have been rumors or something that they cut out scenes of Gore actually killing gods, which is so disappointing. The costumes for Thor, Korg, and the Guardians I feel are a bit much. And speaking of the Guardians, we barely got any of them. I didn't want this to be a Guardians of the Galaxy 2.5, but also I would like to see them at least in the first half of the movie, and then they could leave and go set up Volume 3. That'd be great. This was really disappointing. He was like this cartoonishly evil, just dude. And in the final battle, the kid's being given Thor powers. What the hell? I feel like that would have been useful in Endgame. That's Thor: Love and Thunder. 5 for me is Black Adam. Now, this was it was a fun movie. It was an enjoyable ride. It had amazing choreography. The CGI was shockingly good along with the costume design. The acting was not bad, and it was pretty good casting overall. But I just don't really care about the well-being or story of any other character but Hawkman and Dr. Fate. They were the only characters I was actively worried about in the movie. They were the only characters I actively wanted to see more of in the movie. The story is pretty boring. I did not care about it at all, which also leads me to my next point. The villains were absolute dog shit. I can't remember any of their names. I just remember one was Satan and one was some dude. And neither of them I was really threatened by. I feel like it's supposed to be funny, but for me it just doesn't really land. I think it's just The Rock's humor in his movies is not really the kind of humor I like, the kind of humor I typically enjoy. This is more of a minor complaint, but I feel like they should have given Black Adam an accent. He's from, he always has one, he's from that area, give him an accent. At least try. Oh my god. And then this next one just goes Henry Cavill cameo, lol. Oh, that's Black Adam. Next up in number 4, I have the DC League of Super Pets. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was not expecting to enjoy this movie. I thought it would be just a kid movie. It would be like Teen Titans Go. I thought I would really not like it. I was shocked. This movie is shockingly funny. A lot of the characters have lines where just every time they speak, it's a banger of a joke. Like Batman. My man saw Crypto loving Superman and went, "I miss my parents." The turtle was super horny. I really liked that. Relatable. I thought the designs were pretty good, and I really liked the art style. The action was also really good. It was shocking. Some of the just Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson funny moments, they didn't really land with me. I don't know, there's not much on cons. I don't know, this is just where I feel like it should be. I just prefer the ones above it. Speaking of the ones above it, great segue. We got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think the acting for the most part is pretty good. Benedict Cumberbatch, Benedict Wong. Wow, I just realized that they're both Benedict. Elizabeth Olsen, they're great. They're amazing. The costume design is super good. I love Strange's suit. I love Wong. I love Scarlet Witch. America Chavez's suit looks really cool. And they did impeccable work on the costumes for the Illuminati. I thought Steven's arc in the movie was really, really good. It was really, really relatable for me, and I just really enjoyed that part of the movie. It was a really, I wanted to see where that went. The casting was really good. Obviously, Cumberbatch, Wong, Olsen. America Chavez was also really perfectly cast. I can't remember her actress's name, and I feel really bad about it. It'll be on screen now, but that was amazing casting. I thought the writing was pretty good overall, and the story had pretty good pacing. The choreography was really fun, and I really liked the cinematography. Sam Raimi is great. But the things I don't really like, the CGI was really spotty in a lot of places. I don't really care about Chavez as a character. She's literally just this girl who's running away from things. There's really no madness in this multiverse. We get a 30-second time lapse of them going through a bunch of wacky alternate realities, and then they just stay in 838 for the entire movie. I would have liked to see every 20 minutes they hop to a different universe. And the Illuminati was pretty disappointing to me. They were literally just cameos, which I mean you can't really get mad at that necessarily. But I just think it would have been cool to just see more of them. I want to hop to a different universe every little bit. But I think maybe the Illuminati could have been bigger players in the movie. I don't know. I just think it would have been cool to see more of them. And also their reactions to each other's death was really weird. Mr. Fantastic, his head gets popped like a grape. And Captain Marvel and Captain Carter, they literally just look at each other like, damn, guess we're up. Next up for me, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I think this movie has the best acting in any movie to release this year. It is impeccable. It constantly made me feel for the characters. It invests me in the characters that I never really cared about. In the first Black Panther movie, I honestly really only cared about T'Challa. I didn't super care for the other characters, other than M'Baku. But this movie, I thoroughly enjoyed. Okoye, Shuri, Ramonda, they were all great. The choreography was impeccable. The fight scenes of Talokan invading Wakanda, those are, God, they're so good. And I think Namor may be the best villain of Phase 4. At the very least, he's up there. Most of the costumes are really, really good. I'll touch on that in a second. And it also makes me care about Talokan. I care about the civilization. It's not just, oh, you need to care about this because I'm telling you to. No, it genuinely makes us it shows us Talokan, it shows us the people, it tells us their backstory, and we actually care. I think the costumes for Ironheart, at least at the end, Ironheart's last costume, is a bit too gun to me. And the costumes for the Midnight Angels, Okoye, and the other lady, I can't remember the name of, sorry. They're a bit much. You know, I'm happy Riri is getting her new costume in the Ironheart show. And I hope they change up the costumes a bit before we see Okoye and then other lady again. The CGI is a bit spotty sometimes in some places, but overall it wasn't bad. I'm not a big fan of T'Challa Jr. solely because I'm really worried they're the only reason we're including him is to set up and we're gonna have him be Black Panther. I'm really worried the son isn't gonna have much to do other than just being you're gonna be the next Black Panther. I hope they prove me wrong in the next movie. But this movie is also, and this is not at all a fault of them. This is a fault of circumstance, and there's nothing that we can change. They made the best movie they could, I think. This movie is sorely missing Chadwick Boseman. There's a hole, and there's something missing from the movie, and it is, you can feel it when you watch it, and it is Chadwick Boseman. Once again, nothing they could have done. That's not really a fault of the movie. It's just a fault of circumstance, and it's a really shitty one. Anyway, to get a bit happier, let's move on to number one, which for me, a landslide, The Batman. This movie's cinematography and choreography were amazing. I loved every fight scene. The shots were framed perfectly. The storytelling was incredible. I never felt like it was off. It never feels too slow, and it feels too fast. It just feels right for what the movie's going for. The characters are written perfectly. I was really worried about Robert Pattinson playing Bruce Wayne. I would feel like it wouldn't work, but no, I think even when he's Bruce Wayne, it's really perfect for what they're going for. Batman is written perfectly. Catwoman, the Riddler. I think he's honestly my favorite movie villain of the year. Picked a perfect actor to play him as well. It sets up an amazing The Batman 2. We could deal with Bruce needing to be Bruce, needing to actually do things to help Gotham as Bruce as well as Batman. The costumes are amazing. The Batsuit might be my favorite Batman suit. And it makes me invested in all of Gotham. In every other Batman kind of series I've watched, I haven't super cared about the people of Gotham, minus The Dark Knight. But this movie genuinely just makes me I understand the city, I understand its problems, and I want to see it get better. The only negative I have is that it is 3 hours long, which makes it so rewatching it is more of an event. The fact that my only problem with this movie is that it's hard to rewatch it, I think shows something. I'm not going to talk about the Batman anymore, because that could go on for a while. I love that movie. Yeah, that was my list. Thanks for coming in right at the end, AC. Thanks for watching. New videos hopefully, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.